Hey people, so I'm trying a new look. See what too much of learning and too much of studying does that for you. But I think this works especially for this particular video because we are going to talk about financial independence for women. Now, why is it important? Do you know how to actually achieve financial independence? And what are the top 5 things that you have to do to achieve this financial independence, especially for all the lovely ladies out there. So if you think this makes sense, go ahead, watch this video till the end, and we are going to bring in a bonus tip for you so that you can reach financial independence, I hope, before me. But before I go ahead, do hit that like button, and also if you think it makes sense, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I would love to hear from you as to what you loved the best in this particular video. What was your favorite section? What was the best tip you loved? And so let's start going. And I hope you remember by now that I'm Swati Singhania. What is financial independence? Okay, so as Wikipedia says, let me read this from my laptop for you. So financial independence is the status of having enough income, that is from investments, passive in business, real estate. So if I have real estate, I really don't need to bother about financial independence. But yes, you have enough income to pay for one's reasonable living expenses. Now that's very important. One's reasonable living expenses for the rest of your life and without having to rely on formal employment. So it basically says that whether you're working or not, you should continue to have income, or you should have sufficient bank balance so that you can survive to your balanced lifetime for all your basic expenses. So what does this say? This basically says there are 2 important sections. So 1, you should know what your expenses is. 2nd, you should know what your income is. And 3rd, you should save enough for the point where you do not have any income or you do not are actively involved in making more money, right? You should have sufficient passive income so that even if you're not going to office, your money is coming to your bank account and you really don't have to bother about your future. So let's quickly talk about what are the top 5 steps that all of us have to do so that we can at least think of financial independence. So the first thing that you really need to do is know your income. If you're thinking of being financially independent, I'm hoping that you're already making money. You have a process through which you are making money and you're involved in the whole economic cycle, and that is why you're only thinking about financial independence. If you're not already earning, the first step to achieving financial independence is start making money. There are too many ideas about how you can do freelancing, how you can pick up part-time jobs, how you can actually do a full-time job and start making money, because this world needs money. So you really need to have money and you need to make it by your own. Don't rely it on anyone else. Do not rely on another bank account to start giving you money. So the first thing that you should do is know your money, know your income. How much money have you made? So a simple way to do it, if you do not have a fixed salary, the simple way to do it, pick up your bank statement of last month, total all the incomings. That is what the income you made last year. And hoping that you will get some raise or you will make at least a little more money. You will have more money than what you made last year. So that's your income. The first part includes, which says, know your expenses. So once you know what you make, you should also know how much are you spending. So we've done a great video on how to understand your expenses through this video on freelancing. If you look at the middle section of this video, it talks about how to actually understand your expenses. So you should understand your expenses and break it between luxury and comfort. Now, I'm not going into details for that because in this particular video, our focus is to understand financial independence and not to do financial planning. Now, financial planning is where you actually get into the details. Here, it's just about achieving the top 5 goals. So the first thing is know your income and your expenses. Once you've sorted with your income and expenses, let's go to the second step. So the second step is very, very important, that you need to get knowledge of finance. I don't know, when I speak to my friends, whether it be women or be it men, somehow they don't want to get into numbers. They think it's extremely scary. I call a few friends to tell them that, hey, I've launched my YouTube channel. It would be great if you can subscribe to it. He said, if you're talking about finance, I really don't want to get into it because it just scares me. So the whole idea is this channel is to actually make it very, very simple for you. So you actually need to understand finance. Start reading concepts Start subscribing to channels which talk about finance, because I think a lot of YouTubers are making too much effort in making finance very, very simple for you. And obviously subscribe to my channel, but obviously that goes unsaid. And you can also start reading about it, buy great books on it. I think there are too many super great books on it. I will leave some link for you guys in the description about some books on finances which are my favorite. Now, in addition to that, you can even subscribe to some courses. There are some great websites which offer some super great courses at 500,000 rupees for that matter. Subscribe to those courses. Get to know finances. You really don't need to ace it. You really don't need to become a chartered accountant if you don't want to, but you need to get basics of finance. So you should know what a mutual fund is. You should know what a bank account is. You should know what equity shares is. Obviously, in our channel, we are going to bring up videos for all of this, but till the time, you can obviously just Google it, okay? Just Google it, my darling. Just go to Google and Google it, okay? So the second step is knowledge on finance. I'm telling you, it's extremely important. Also, reason why it's important is so that no one can fool you, okay? If you get a financial planner who's a cheater and it fools you, you would know what, he's not talking sense. So you can actually just get him out of a job and get it a better financial plan, okay? So know your finances. Now, the third thing is very important. Set your goals. When I say set your goals, pick up a paper, pick up a pen. If you like colors, pick up colored pens, whatever your favorite colors are, and divide that goals into 3 sections: short term, medium, and long term. So what is long term? Something that you want to do in 5 years. I want to buy a bungalow in 5 years. Go ahead, write it out. I want to own an office. Go ahead, write it there. It is also to some extent about setting your aim and visualization and manifestation and so many other things, but it is about bringing it on a paper and pen, because when you write it down, all your wishes actually come down to one paper, and then it's superbly great. You can just put it in front of your God and say, okay, God, please grant me some of these wishes. So, okay, long term is something that you want to achieve 5 to 10 years. Medium is something that you want to achieve anywhere between 2 to 3 years. So you may say, okay, I want to buy a car, and I would want to get my business registered and become from a freelancer. I want to become a registered vendor or a registered company. I want to register my patent, and that requires a lot of money, okay? So you can set goals for yourself anywhere between 2 to 3 years. And the last is short term, which is 1 year or 2 years. What do you want to do in the next 1 to 2 years? If you have to talk about my goals are very clear. I have to go on 3 holidays every year. Now, 2020 has been a bad year when it comes to holidays. So maybe I can go on 4 holidays in the next 3 years. But my goals are solid. I need to have 3 holidays every year. And all these 3 are going to be extremely comfort holidays. Not luxury, not cheap. I'm going to comfort holidays. 3 holidays, I have to get into 1 education course every year. I ensure that I learn something. I register myself every year, 1 course. And the third is, I have to, guys, you will not believe it, but I have to buy a piece of jewelry for myself, because I have not really bought a jewelry for myself all my life. So I think it's high time I do that, because some diamonds don't do some bad, okay? So that is my short-term goal. If you have to talk about my short-term goals, I can probably do a video where I can talk about all my goals. But you have to divide your goals between short-term, medium, and long-term. And if you have done that, I think you're already victorious of 70% of the work. You are really sorted if you have managed to figure out your income, expenses, and your plan of action. Now we just have balance 2 steps going. Let's quickly cover those 2. So the next 2 sections are comparatively easier, and I think I'm sure you can easily achieve it. The 4th step is you need to figure out an emergency plan. Even if you want to skip the step 3rd and you don't want to plan it, but you have to fix an emergency fund. And we've done a great video about emergency fund. You can click on the link above and just go ahead and read on about emergency fund. But you have to figure out an emergency fund for you. Open another bank account, make a fixed deposit, do as you want to, but you have to have an emergency fund. Because if you do not have an emergency fund, who is going to save you when you start drowning? Okay, so just go ahead, go watch that video. You need emergency fund, which is technically 3 to 6 months of your expenses. Okay, and in that particular video, we've taught you how to do it and what to do with that emergency fund, because it's not necessary that you may not need it. In fact, I really wish you don't need it all your life. Okay, so emergency fund is the 4th step. Now 5th step is very simple. Get a support group. Now when I say get a support group, yes, I am talking of friends, but I'm talking of a particular support group which can talk about how to improve your finances. Now there's some great platforms these days, especially dedicated to women, especially dedicated to the financial independence of women. So I think you have to get into one of these support groups. You know, if possible, subscribe to a great channel. If possible, subscribe to a great blog which teaches you all that. But you have to get into a support group which talks about financial independence of women, because I think that really encourages you, especially when women share that how they have failed and how they rose up like a phoenix out of it. Okay, I think we women are great at that, and I think that is going to help you understand what mistakes you are not supposed to do. Let's learn from the mistakes of others. Why to do our own? Why to just repeat the mistakes? We can do our own mistakes. But get into a support group, or if you really don't like all this, find friends who are great at finances, and I'm sure you will find your light with them. Make them, get into a better friendship, get into a better relationship with them. I'm sure you can think of someone already. So go ahead, give that person a call. Remember, we all are looking for great friendships. So find a support group for yourself where you can actually get into understand finances. I think that's going to really help you in a great extent. If you follow these 5 steps, I promise you that you will be financially independent to a great extent. Whether you can actually retire at 40, 50, I really don't know. Post your details or just email me your details and I can probably help you with that. But till then, at least this is your first step of being financially independent. I have been following something on these terms, and I think this has helped me in a great deal, and I'm sure it can help you too. So I hope you've liked this video and you've already subscribed to our channel. So I'm super grateful that you're watching us, and I'm waiting for your comment as to which of the 5 tips was your favorite. So now is the bonus tip. Yes, and it is coming like a bonus tip to all of us. So what's the bonus tip? The bonus tip is, once you watch this video, you've taken all the 5 steps, you've learned, okay, I have to do this, I've picked up a financial plan. Do not forget to revise your plan. So for people who are actually working, so for people who have a regular flow of income coming out there, you need to revisit your plan at least once every quarter. So when I say quarter, every 3 months. So fix up a date, fix it in your calendar, or maybe, end of September. Do not forget to visit your plan once every quarter, because until unless you visit your plan every quarter, this is not going to make sense. Your plans will change, right? You are looking for a solo holiday, maybe you'll start looking for a group holiday, or maybe you'll actually start looking for more education in next year and not so much of holidays. So it can just vary for all of us. So the bonus tip for you guys, and you have to do it, guys, because if you don't do this, I think all the other 5 things are not going to really work in your favor. So do not forget to revisit your plan every quarter. Okay? And you can always thank me later through a comment below. I would love to see your thank you. So have a great day till then. Bye-bye.